Good evening, Patriots. Dan Dubois, Canadian Combat Coalition National President. We're also known as C3. I haven't been around much. I haven't made any comments or statements on a lot of the recent events because, quite frankly, I've been sick to my stomach as to what I've been seeing the left mainstream media and what the libtards have been trying to spin all these events as. And one event in particular is the shooting in Toronto that I'm speaking of. Two young, innocent girls with their entire lives ahead of them, gunned down in cold blood. I've heard testimony from people saying that the 18-year-old girl was begging for her life when the shooter went up and shot her again twice. The left argue with me. I was arguing with a guy just recently. And he's telling me, you're out there preaching hate and you're making more hate and you can't fight hate with hate. It's the attitude like Trudeau that we should bring ISIS fighters back into this country and maybe cure them of this terrible mentality with hugs, kisses, and poetry. It's not going to happen. Do you think that man had any empathy for that girl begging for her life when he shot her again? All the love and kisses that you may administer in the direction of this terrible ideology is not going to cure it. You got to understand that there's 2 generations or more that have been brainwashed in thinking that the West and our way of life is evil. That a woman in a bikini on a beach is evil. That's why they put glass and all kinds of sharp objects all over the beaches in southern Ontario. Even one beach here in northern Ontario was affected. They feel that our women shouldn't be out there on beaches, half dressed, that they should be covered and with only their eyes exposed, basically taking away all of their rights. I know it's a long weekend and I hope you're enjoying it. One thing that I know you're not enjoying is notice those beer and wine prices went up, eh? Yeah, that's federal excise tax imposed by the Trudeau government last year. And they've even put in a clause that this tax is to go up yearly. So if you didn't like the beer and wine prices this year, wait till next year. They're going to be higher. The thing I want to address is that the left has been spinning the shooting in Toronto as mental illness. You know, they seem to blame mental illness on everything. Soon, people will be afraid of mentally ill people. We're going to think that mentally ill people are all out to kill us. Fact of the matter is, if this guy was mentally ill, let's see some documentation proving that he was diagnosed as being mentally ill. Or are we just out there saying he's mentally ill? I know the left love to dismiss everything as mentally ill. There was a man a few years back that cut off a guy's head on a bus out in the prairies. He was deemed mentally ill. That man is back on the streets, a Muslim. Seems that that's part of their belief. You know, the way to kill you is to cut your head off. I don't get it. You know, like, why must everything be so violent and so terrible and so graphic with this belief? So it really troubles me when I see the left trying to now make us feel sorry for this man. We should feel sorry for the shooter. Poor guy was mentally ill after all. Well, you better prove that before you start, because everybody's mentally ill then. You know, we're all a little mentally ill. Is this a loophole for criminals to now get away with committing terrible crimes. Let's blame it on mental illness, and he walks away. It seems that the government and our laws and the corruption runs deep because the police are even enforcing these laws. A man can go and fondle a bunch of girls at the West Edmonton Mall at the pool area, and he gets off because, his belief is that that's okay. And because his religious belief endorses such behavior, he walks away scot-free. Is our government actually manipulating the justice system to help the criminals? Sure sounds like it to me. Now they want to take away the guns from the legal gun owners. People that have been vetted and have had to prove extensively that they should be able to own a gun. These are the people that are going to have to relinquish their guns. These are the people your government officials are going after. Fact is, they're going to unarm the good people, but the bad people are going to keep their guns. They're illegal guns. So you're disarming the good population and leaving the criminal population armed. The man that shot those girls in Toronto had an illegal gun. C-71 is a law that's been administered by the government, reducing the punishment for importing illegal guns into the country, reducing the punishment for pedophiles, reducing the punishment for terrible criminal acts. Do you see a problem here? Why is our government endorsing criminals and creating loopholes so that criminals can get away with criminal activity? Why are good Canadians speaking their mind being charged for speaking their mind? Yet we've got criminals conducting terrible criminal activity and they're getting away with it. It troubles me to great lengths that evil people, criminals, are getting a reduction in punishment and good people are being punished for trying to do good things. And your government is endorsing this. They wouldn't even release the man's name that shot those victims in Toronto until they had a statement made, not by the family, but a man that has ties to maybe bad Muslim groups. This is the man that put out a statement saying how the family felt terrible and that this man had mental illness. Well, you better prove it. Again, I'd like to see documentation that this man had been proven and diagnosed by a professional to be mentally ill. You can't call people mentally ill just because of their behavior. Are you mentally ill because you dress different than everybody else? Mental illness has got to be defined and diagnosed. So you can't just say that, oh, well, he shot a bunch of people, he's mentally ill, and let's feel sorry for this guy. Get it? There's something wrong going on in this country and around the world. It troubles me that illegal guns can be brought into the country with minimal punishment. It troubles me that these guns are going to be going unchecked, they're going to increase in numbers, and that your government's trying to take away the guns from the good people, using all kinds of things. If you've got a medical marijuana exemption, they don't want you to have a gun. They don't want you to drive a car. Yet you can be a registered alcoholic with AA, and that's okay to have a gun. There's a lot of gray areas going on in this government, and it's troubling, to say the least. Today I got to watch Duke. Duke, give it up, buddy. His ball is under the couch. And I'm not going to stop the video to go get his ball. So, Duke, you're going to have to wait for your ball. Please, okay? Be a good boy. I was watching Berkeley Antifa today. And, another troubling thing. Antifa and the left are growing in numbers. My explanation to that is, 2/3 of the population supposedly is stupid. Yeah. If you talk to psychiatrists and doctors and what have you, 2/3 of the population is not up to speed in IQ or intelligence. So that 2/3 of the people are gladly joining ideologies like Antifa. Here, Duke, you want to be in the picture? Duke's got a mohawk. I brought Duke in to get him clipped, and he's got a mohawk. We left the mohawk on Duke. Hey, Duke. We're thinking of dyeing that mohawk either red or blue. We haven't made up our minds yet. But yeah, that's my best buddy. That's Duke. Not Duke Willis. That's just Duke. We call him the Duke. But anyways, I'm watching the Berkeley events today, and Antifa arguing with some of the guys reporting out there. And their argument is, you're a fascist, Nazi, go home, F you. No argument. Just a bunch of yelling and screaming and hate. It's just pure hate. And, the police are standing there. These guys are wearing masks. It's clear. I mean, people, you're okay with exposing yourself like this and making yourself look like a total idiot and a total moron? Thousands of people are seeing that your argument is F you, fascist, Nazi, that you have no brains. And you're out there in front of thousands exposing to everybody that you're borderline brain dead, a total waste of skin. I can't believe it. The entire continent is going to hell in a handbasket. It's it's troubling. So we got to start standing up, people. There's a rally this weekend. I don't know how it's going to go there. The organization is a little bit confusing. I guess there's no permit. Joey's looking into this. He's looking into getting the police protection. We're not sure now, maybe where it's going to be held. So there's a lot of fine tuning to go with this event. We hope to attend this event. We hope to be able to endorse this event, and C3 would like to be there. So we have to get some answers soon, so that we can do some planning as far as getting some people there representing C3 and the movement. So I'll be talking to Joey D, and hopefully we'll have some answers posted on our page, closer to the end of the week as to where, when, and who and how we're endorsing this. So I just want to say, hey, Bo, how's it going, bro? I was talking to Bo there today. He's been a pretty busy guy. Hey, Win, how's it going, brother? Maxim, yeah, they are stupid. And I know you're talking about Antifa. There's no confusion there. Hilarious. So anyways, I just, Bo, the when and where is supposedly Joey's having a rally, Nathan Phillips Square, next Saturday, August 11th. But there's a Bollywood event going on there, which is like it's just an event for, movies and stuff like that. So I don't know if we'll be able to share Nathan Phillips Square, or if it's even a good idea to share Nathan Phillips Square with them. So we're going to have to talk to Joey and see how that works out, because the rally is definitely warranted. But we got to do it properly, because it's so easy. The left spins everything as we're haters, we're Nazis. C3 is a multicultural group. We've got every race, religion, color in our group, and we fully endorse these people, and they fully endorse us. It's not a race thing. It's not a religious thing. It's about enforcing our laws, closing our borders. That's why they're there. It's about vetting immigrants and letting in good immigrants, not immigrants that are here to jeopardize our way of life or our safety. These are only reasonable requests upon our government. We're not asking for, stupid things here. These are reasonable requests to ask your government to protect your borders, to protect its people, to protect our interests monetarily and physically. This government is squandering our money away to countries that are questionable in whether they like Canada or not. We're squandering our money away to these countries that hate us. That money doesn't come back. Once the money leaves the continent and is given away, it's gone. Well, I see people on Canadian streets dying of starvation. I see homeless people, and we're doing something about that soon. We're going to be announcing we're joining a group there, and when I have all the information, it's about helping homeless and all that, and it's a great idea. This Scott Batchelor's came up with a great idea. I got to discuss it with our other leaders, but I like the idea, and you're going to like it too. And it's going to be disclosed shortly, so I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats, but we're trying to do some good things here. So, our borders have got to be protected, and Canadians have got to come first. And when I talk Canadians, I mean, I don't care if you're born here or not. If you've got your Canadian citizenship and you work and you pay taxes and you're a contributing member of Canada and you love Canada and our way of life, you're a Canadian. So these are the people that have to come first. And I don't give a shit what color they are or what race they are or what religion they are, or if they're with the LGBTQ, or if they're even Antifa. If they're Canadian, they have rights and they have to be protected. And the way that the government should be doing that is spending our money. It's our money. It's our funds that we've contributed. This money should come back to us. Canada does not owe the world a debt, and we do not have it in our mandate whatsoever that we are responsible for saving the world. We're not responsible for saving the world. We got to save ourselves first. If we can't save ourselves, how are we ever going to help the world? If our country goes down the tubes, what use will we be to the rest of the world? If our country prospers, if our country grows, if our country becomes richer, then yes, we can afford to help the world. It's a no-brainer. You help Canadians, then we can help others. So thanks for listening to my rant. I'm happy that many of you are commenting very favorably. It is what it is. Let's get back on track. Let's say, why isn't the government saying it? It was a terrorist attack in Toronto. Let's not stop sugarcoating stuff. Canadians can take it. It was a terrorist attack in Toronto. Period. It was a terrorist attack, the police officer in Edmonton. Period. It's not legal in Canada to be fondling children or women at a public pool, whether it be in Edmonton or anywhere else. It's against the law. And you should be punished for it. Period. Let's get back on track. Let's try to make our government start enforcing the good Canadian laws that we have. The laws that protect our values and our scruples. That's what's got to come back to this country. So with that said, Go to Duke Willis at 9 o'clock. Duke Willis has a show at 9 o'clock almost every night. Great show. Very intelligent guy. C3 captain for the St. Catharines area. Duke, definitely well informed, very knowledgeable historian, I might say. This guy knows our past, and he calls it the way it is. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's rough around the edges, just like we love him. A great addition to C3, and his show is very informative. It's almost every night at 9 o'clock. Please tune in. So with that said, thanks for tuning in, Patriots. I love yous all. Have a great evening. Enjoy your long weekend, and I'll be seeing yous again. Take care.